Talking about the top division, we have the St Magnus Division 1. Got the Godalming Goats, 255 against the Seattle Patriots, 194. The Whitford Rockstars, 245.98 against the Manchester Bees, 141. So that was a top of the table clash, that one.
Yeah, that's a
Dublin
big win
Blues,
for Whitworth.
189 against 191. The Glasgow Eagles, so that was a topsy-turvy, very close.
Lucky Danny.
The Newcastle Colts, change the bloody name, Sean, 173 against the Harlow Harlequins, 187. Then you got the Leeds Lassos, 201 against beating the Carlton Crew, 287. These are two very close teams. Then you got the Leicester Tigers, 157, beat the Stockholm Bengals, 105. So this is pretty tight, I think. So you've got 2 8 and 3s, couple of games clear. So the one more win should hopefully get them into the top two guaranteed. But obviously, is it top 3 or 4 go into the playoffs, if I remember rightly? But
yes, top 4, I believe. That's why I was talking top 4 before. Also getting a buy in the playoffs for the divisional title, because when you're in Division 1, you always want to win the top. You want to be the conference champion. Even if you don't go on and win the whole thing, being a conference champion is a big thing as well. Winning the top division, so it's all to play for. Obviously, Whitworth Rockstars and Manchester Bees, they're looking very comfortable to get in there, and certainly they're 1 win away, like you say, from being top 4 because. Seattle Patriots points are 209.7 against. Oh no, it's quite tight actually. Certainly, with Rockstars, they're 1 win away from absolutely guaranteeing being in the top 4. So, and then look at all those 6 and 5s right up to 3rd. So, and it's not just likes a Carlton Crew there at 5 and 6, and there's a few more coming down at 5 and 6. Leeds Lassos, Glasgow Eagles, the 3 of them. They're all the way down to 9th place, only 1 win behind 3rd place, and the top 4 getting into the playoffs for the OrkneyBowl. It's all to play for all the way down to 9th. That's massive, And even Stoke and Bengals and Dublin Everton Blues at 4 and 7, if they were to win out, they've got a chance of sneaking 6th and getting into the playoffs. So
I know, because there was only 2 points between this one, so it was a bit of a crazy one.
This was a tight one. This was unlucky for Danny. It's he'll be disappointed with Sam Darnold, 4 interceptions. That's no touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's not what you're looking for from your quarterback. That was a big disappointment.
And Ted Johnson.
Ted Johnston, you take the swing, he's another boomer bust, isn't he? You take the swing and it didn't quite work out. Same with Ty Johnson at the Bills, oh no, that's the tight end.
Theo Johnson. I guess though, he never got a target until the second half.
No,
Winston, he was open, but Winston was not throwing the ball to him.
But you can see where the problems lie there as well. Right out there on that screen is where the problems lie. Johnson, Bauer's not doing brilliant, and the Njoku. That's kind of where this one was lost. It's too many tight ends in the starting lineup, and I get that tight end is you get premium for tight ends. Get in, fella. I get that you get premium for tight ends, but. There's a reason you get premium for tight ends because not a whole lot of them get overly involved, and when you're starting 4 of them, that's the reason why you're losing tight games. 189 points is very, very, it's playable, it's par, but it wasn't good enough against Graham's Eagles, and of course that keeps Graham's Eagles well in the hunt as well, at the 5 and 6, as I say, not only for the playoffs, but to get in the top 4 and get into the OrkneyBowl playoffs.
Well, there you go. 141 for the top team because there's Lamar Jackson, 6 points up against Josh Allen, 58 points. So yeah,
Jackson's flying though, isn't he? Jackson up at the top there, with Whitworth Rockstars. He must be getting quite excited at the moment because we know how he reacts when he's going well, so he must be quite excited, and rightly so. When you've got McBride, when you've got Alan McBride, JSN, I mean those are 3 players that are
you put in Dortch as well,
absolute elite in their position. Yeah, Dortch is a kind of fill-in at the moment. You've got to hope he's get better than that on his bench because when Harrison comes back, Dortch goes null and void again. But yeah, it's looking very good for Jackson up there at the top, and he's flying and he's scoring massive points at the right time. And Seattle Patriots 194 points. He just ran into a big one, and there's not much you can do about that. I would be happier as the Seattle Patriots at 6-5 than I would be the Manchester Bees at 8-5, only scoring 141. But Seattle have obviously got a lot of work to do to get themselves into that top 4. So interesting to see.
Well, they're sitting in 5th at the moment, so yes. But I'm guessing there'll be a few very close games this week.
I mean, you're praying for one of the bottom 3, aren't you? That's what you're praying for at this stage.
Not looking like it, but
you see, Hello Harlequins and Stoke-on-Bengals are playing each other there at 3-8 and 4-7, and that knocks them out of it, So Dublin, Everton Blues could put the final nail in Leeds Lasso's coffin, but and they're looking favourite to do so, and maybe even give themselves a sniff. But Carlton Crew and Leicester Tigers down there, it's win or go home there as well. So, and remember that it's not just about making the playoffs here, or getting into that top 4. It's not having the prospect of relegation out the top division as well. You sneak into 6th place and you can't be relegated, and that's just a massive thing. So big game at the bottom, bigger game at the bottom there, Leicester Tigers and Carlton Crew, in terms of keeping yourself, getting yourself into the top 6 and avoiding a relegation battle.
So you obviously got 6-5, 8-3, which is a interesting one.
Yeah, Sean needs that win. He's been on a bit of a bad run as well as our Sean, so he needs that win. But with Rockstars, I mean, obviously Josh Allen's been a disappointing start, but JSN's still to come, and he's got a relatively decent game against Tennessee Titans, and McBride's still to come against the Jags. That's a good pickup. I like that pickup this week with Chase out. I do like that Yoshivas pickup. I think quite a lot of people will be doing that this week.
He's not changing the team; they're all on a bye, apart from Douglas.
Yeah, I mean there's 4 teams on bye weeks this week, but that's big for Sean. He's running into them at a good time, and Sean really does need that one to keep up there. And Godalming Goats here at 6-5 as well. That's a massive game for them against the Manchester Bees, and as we say, Seattle Patriots. Well, they could kill off Glasgow Eagles if they can find that win and get themselves up there to 7-5. It would absolutely kill off Graham and these Glasgow Eagles, which is what the top 6 want to be doing at the moment.
Yeah, I'll come to that too, because obviously if Leicester Tigers can pull it off, that really would kill the 5s and 6s, I think.
Absolutely, that's the thing. It's the top 4 that you're really looking for first and foremost, So very much down to Glasgow Eagles are very much still in the chase for the top 4. But come next week, there's at least 2 of those teams are going to probably be out of it. So that's how big the games are this week. I would say down to 9th, it'll be down to about 7th maybe next week.
And of course, with Leicester Tigers only scoring 1,900, they need to win because they're not going to beat anybody with points difference.
When you're in the mire, points score matter a heck of a lot, So it's they need to be winning. You need to get to 8 wins probably if you're the low scorer. You need to get to 8 wins because 7 wins probably won't be enough if you're a low scorer.
Yep. So it's all fun and games and very tight.
Yeah, that's regular. That's the divisions for week 11 now in the bag there, Johnny. As we say, 3 weeks to go. Can't believe it, but they're all, there's so much to play for